So it ended Ajax 2, PSV 2, and honestly, great game to watch. I thoroughly enjoyed it a lot. The game quite dominated by Ajax even in the first half. The goals came from Sahavi, two of them for PSV, provided by Malin, and one from Promise in the first half, provided by Tadic. In the second half, Anthony got a goal that was provided by Sebastian Aller. So the first half, PSV got into the game quickly. They got the first two goals to go 2-0 up. And Ajax looked uneasy. They looked out of sorts. They dominated possession. They were very dominant in the whole game, but it looked like there was no end product there. And the fact that Tadic started up, well, Tadic didn't start up front. Tadic was kind of out wide, and it was Labyad who was up front and didn't offer anything. There honestly wasn't enough movement. Anthony as well didn't really offer much in the first half. Had a terrible first half. Was responsible for the second goal when he tried passing it to Klassen, and then PSV just broke into Ajax's defense and play between Malin and Zahavi got the goal. Zahavi was brilliant, and it's also good for Malin, who has just recently come back. Well, not recently. He has had his injury problems over the past, and he's showing that he can still be a very, very reliable player. Young player, 21. Um, Ajax had Gravenbach, who was good in periods, and also showed that he could dominate that midfield and add a burst to Ajax's attacks. And then Promise, who was acting as some sort of number 10 behind the striker, but also linking up midfield well. It was a very good game to watch. I was unimpressed with Tagliafico, except he did play his roles in the goals, but pretty much underwhelming. PSV defended well. They scrapped away the ball quite often, and it was promising. But if you look at it, Ajax deserved the win, definitely. And obviously, we talked about Sebastian Haller the other day. He came on in the second half and changed the way Ajax played. They had a focal point up front. They could really provide someone. He held up the ball well. He won his aerial duels. He won everything. Well, he didn't win everything. He played very well. And then he was also a part of bringing Anthony into the game as well, which was pretty essential because Anthony was just all over the place in the first half. And then Anthony obviously got a goal provided from Sebastian Haller. Sebastian Haller also had a goal within 5 minutes of his debut that was disallowed because it was offside. But all in all, a promising game for Ajax that they'd be disappointed not to win, considering that they drew their last game 1-1 with Willem. It's Ajax have got a couple of really tough games coming up. They've got couple of tough games coming up. They've got to play Twente and then they've got to play Feyenoord in the derby. So they would have probably liked to win to go 4 points clear of PSV, but nonetheless, they are 1 point clear. They're still by far the top scorers with 54 goals scored in the league. PSV will take it as a very good point, especially away from home. Well, if you count now during COVID times, if away from home really counts, it stopped them from their current form, which was last 3 wins in the last three before that. They have got current up AZ Alkmaar, who was probably a top six contender, which could be a tough game. But then after that, they should have a more generous fixture list if they want to push Ajax for the title. It was a great game to watch, and obviously from seeing that, I think Sebastian Haller has a lot more a bigger role to play in this Ajax team going forward. He could be starting the next match. Who knows? It was an entertaining game. PSV can take a lot of heart from it. They had in the first half they had their middle of Sangara and Rasiari, who was very aggressive and winning the ball quite often, and really forcing Ajax midfielders into errors. But Ajax's class and superiority really showed, and unfortunately, that's the PSV couldn't grind out the result to push Ajax. Now, obviously, everyone puts Ajax as favourites to win this title, and they most likely will. And it shows with a game like that. They're unfortunate not to win, but they were clearly the better team.